I wanted to be a good American. I wanted to serve my country. I couldn't wait to fight my first war.
Hello, America! I have returned from Vietnam! Ow!
You know, the Armed Forces radio and the newspaper, they kind of kept things from you, you know. So we, you know, from the letters I got home, there was protesters, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Coming home was like coming home to a different country. In '68, it seemed like there was so much going on back home that I didn't know about. That it was Martin Luther King had been assassinated, Robert Kennedy had been assassinated. I didn't know any of that. And the people themselves, they didn't look like the same. They had all long hair. They were all screaming, get back on the plane, you baby killer, throwing tomatoes at you. You name it, that's what they did. Mainly on the West Coast.
When I got back home, did I change in that sense? I know I was spit on both times, once in California when I was waiting in the airport in San Francisco to go home, and another time when I arrived in Newark, New Jersey. And I think what happened there is like, you see it today. Back then they were shooting the messenger. Well, as soldiers, we were the messengers. It's a little different now, and I think that was one of the lessons learned from the Vietnam War, is that you don't shoot the messenger. The soldiers don't make the war. We don't make foreign policy. It's your politicians that do.
Because I didn't come home the regular way, I came home on a medical transport, I was spared all that nonsense. But I quickly learned that when I got back into the scene of, like, trying to meet girls, saying that you were a Vietnam veteran was not a good way to pick up girls at all. You know, it was a big turnoff.
When I came back 13 months later, it was like coming back to a whole different civilization, you know, and so, you know, I wasn't here. I certainly could have been impressed by it as it was developing, and it was a real shock to my system to see how this country had gone from some casual disobedience to massive disobedience, or at least certainly you know, a contradiction to, you know, what the people in Washington were telling us to do.
I was spit on, I was cursed, baby killer, I don't know what other names I was called. I've heard other stories about people who came back about the same time as I did. You kind of land at Travis Air Force Base out in San Francisco. That's kind of where you came into most of the time. And guys throwing their uniforms in the garbage because they just didn't want to be abused by people who were outside the base or down in San Francisco, being a hotbed of protest anything, you know, at that point in time.
I went to the bank to open a checking account. And I had been in the jungle most of the time, and I didn't have any color, any tan, but then I got to hang around and relax for a few days before I left, and so I had some sunburn. And I filled out my paperwork to open the account, and I was standing in front of the bank teller, and she was pleasant enough, and she said, "Well, you have a nice tan. Were you on vacation?" And I said, "No, I was in Vietnam. I just got back." And she threw the checkbook at me.
Go. No, Viet Cong, stay away from me! Don't let him punch you, sticks!
Give me your money!
I don't have anything, what do you want?
You're a Vietnam veteran, you mean nothing.
Only $200 from the government this month? How am I supposed to pay for my rent, my food, and my education? Oh no! No! Too many Viet Cong! Stay back! Stay back! I warned you!